Hi, everybody. Tom Van Hoy with this Pitt State volleyball update. Gorillas off to a 4-7 start, 1-2 in MIAA play under first-year head coach Jenny Mueller. 3-year assistant to Ibrahim Subaru, who retired after last season. Coach Mueller, one-time head coach at William Woods and also Coffeyville Community College, and on staff at MIAA opponent Central Missouri and Washburn as well. Pitt State with 3 home matches this week. On Tuesday night, Missouri Southern at 7 inside John Lance Arena. Try and set the attendance record. And then this weekend, on Friday night, MIAA play continues at 7 o'clock with Nebraska Kearney coming in, and continues on Saturday night at 6 with Fort Hays State, after the home football game with Fort Hays that day as well. Here's Pitt State women's volleyball coach Jenny Mueller on how the transition's gone from assistant to head coach at PSU.
I tell you what, it's been a pretty smooth transition. The girls have been very helpful in that respect. It's been nice to know several of them from the recruiting process, and then obviously from their time that they've been here. So yes, that transition's been pretty smooth. It's been a lot of fun.
You've been a head coach before, so I mean, sometimes when you become assistant and go into a head coach, there is a big transition. But how much has it helped that you have been a head coach before?
Definitely a lot. It's been very helpful knowing the kind of stress that you're going to be under, the pressure that's there for those wins, losses, the pressure that's there where every decision, it falls back on your shoulders, whether you've delegated it to someone else or taken it on your own. So yeah, knowing that pressure is going to be there has been extremely helpful. And as far as some of the, the managerial, looking to delegate different things to different individuals, having done that before, it's made this transition definitely easier.
Well, you were 3 years under Coach Subaru, and I would imagine learned quite a bit from him. Was it unexpected that when he decided to step down?
Very much so. Very much so. I remember when he pulled me into his office and he'd said, "This is a decision that I'm going to make," and I about fell out of my chair. Yes, I had come here to work and learn from him. Just a tremendous man and tremendous volleyball knowledge person in the field, and very respected across the volleyball world. And I don't know how many individuals had come up to me and ask a similar question. Did you know? Was it a surprise? And yes, absolutely, definitely a big surprise. But he's one that won't stay away from the game. He's working volleyball in Kansas City right now, so he's doing really well and was wonderful to work with and for him.
What about style of play and approach to the game? Is yours similar, or do you tweak it here and there?
Yes, there are actually quite a few pieces that are very similar. The program where I had come from at William Woods, we had run a few players in multi-positions, and that's one of the big differences between us and some of the other programs that you'll see out there is we have players that are multi-position trained, and that's been exciting to see. It really you take advantage of the athleticism that a player has and their creativity, and it's been really exciting to see them develop and grow, and that's something he had fostered and definitely was a firm believer in whenever I got here. So it was exciting to see that someone else was doing the same thing or something similar than what I was. So I definitely got improved knowledge base as far as him taking a middle hitter and making them into a left and right side hitter as well. We have several players now that currently can play all 3 front court positions, which, like I said, it's not necessarily the norm, but gosh, it makes for an exciting game.
How difficult is that? First, I'm going to ask, when you have high school players coming up into the college program to be able to do that, and with college players themselves, how difficult is that to train for a couple of different positions?
You have to make sure that they've got an open mind for it. I'd say that's probably the biggest factor. If they come in and they've said, I'm only a left side hitter, I've only been a left side hitter my entire life, and they're not open to develop and make some of those changes, it makes it very difficult. And we've had some that were a single or a dual position player, and we've now made into a tri-position player as well. If they're open to it and they want to work hard and they want to listen to the instruction and work with the instruction, it can be done. Sometimes, depending on the person, it takes a little bit longer for others than it does with some. But man, it's exciting. It's like I said, it's just exciting to see them make that transition. One of the big transitions from high school to college is just the flat out speed of the game. They've played at high levels with their club teams and with their high school programs, but the speed at the college level especially within the MIAA, it's just that much quicker. So that in itself is a transition. And then, like I said, trying to add in some multi-position training. If it's part of the norm from the very beginning, with us, it is. That they don't know any different, so they just know you have to work hard every day.
How important is it from your standpoint? You were an assistant at Pitt State for 3 years. You were also on staff at Central and Washburn, to have a familiarity with the MIAA.
Oh, goodness. I think that's been very essential. I mean, it's not something you can come in and learn quickly that the MIAA is this tough, but having seen it and experienced it before, you know what kind of caliber of athlete these programs are bringing in, and so that helps in the recruiting process where, you've got some players that are talented, but when you have to make that comparison, would they start for a Central? Would they be on the court at a Nebraska Kearney or at a Washburn? That helps you keep your standard high to really bring in some top talent and know how they're going to compete.
What separates the best teams in the league from those that are trying to get there?
Oh, gosh. A tough question. I'd say one of the big answers for that is you've got to be able to score your own points. Not only do you have to hit a heavy ball, but you've got to have ball placement. Not only do you have to be able to swing strong around blocks, but you've got to eliminate mistakes as well. And that's kind of where we're struggling right now. So we've got a few more mistakes than what's characteristic and what I see as how we will, top out in the middle and the end of the season. So that's something we're really working on. But that right now is one of the big things, is eliminating mental mistakes and being able to score your own points. On the blocking side, we're doing a fantastic job here lately. And you're never supposed to talk injuries, but I got a couple that I need to get healthy so that way we can get them back on the court, and that'll help us out on the defensive side and the offensive side as well.
Are there different, we asked you about your approach and style of play at Pitt State. Are there different styles of play in the MIAA?
Yes and no. Everyone plays an aggressive style. There are some of the programs in the conference that they'll play more the traditional. You've got 2 left side hitters, 2 middle hitters, a right side hitter, and 1 setter. Or they'll run with 6 hitters, and they've got 2 setters as far as their system. But there are a couple teams that will multi-train a couple of players in different positions. So as far as that piece of it goes, that would be where some of the difference may lie. As far as speed of offense, there are a couple programs that run a much faster offense, and ours is definitely one of them. Right now we're not running it as fast as what we could and what we should be, but we'll be getting there soon. But we also have a few teams in the conference that run a higher ball offense. And usually those people have got some big guns, so it doesn't matter how high the ball is. And if the block has a chance to get there, she's still going to be able to swing around and score. So you kind of have to go with the assets that you've got on your team right now. And for us, speed is a big thing. We're running with several middles, but they're also very, very quick, and they're athletic and can move the ball around.
Because of what you do and your approach, does it change how you want to recruit athletes?
It does, yes. For us, just because an athlete is very tall does not necessarily make her the most advantageous player for us. She's also got to be quick and have some versatility. And so, yes, you're looking at some players and you're like, man, this is a Washburn type player. This is a Central type player. And so you see those and you have to figure out where are they going to fit in with, the style of play that you have and with the current athletes that you have. And that sometimes is very frustrating too, because you'll see a player that would maybe fit in with what you've got, but you have somebody in-house who can do that job and does that job well. And so, she may have a lot of interest in Pitt State, but you can't necessarily take her at the time because you've got people in-house that are able to compete and do that job. But yes, you're also looking for players that fit in with your offensive and defensive style of play as well.
All right, overall, how have you played so far this year?
We've had some spells and some matches where we played just lights out, just tremendous. Great offensive plays, moving the block around so we create some one-on-one situations and very dynamic kills. And we've had some, just amazing digs from some of our defensive players, just covering a great span of court and picking up balls that shouldn't be picked up. And then we've had some spells where you think, my goodness, we've backtracked a little bit, and what's going on here? But we've been talking about some of those things, and we're working on the mental fixes and the physical fixes that we have to for some of those, like I said, those soft errors, those mental mistakes. And so it's a continuous journey, that's for sure. and we're on the right road. We're on the right path, and we just have to plug on, and we have to get to a place where we're a little bit more consistent.
Who's played well for you so far?
Oh, goodness. We've had several that have done a really nice job. Maddie Mosier is returning Freshman of the Year for the conference, and she's done a very nice job. She's obviously a multi-position player. She's been playing a lot of backcourt. She played some backcourt on and off last season, so she's really stepped up in that position. Good serve-receive passer. It used to be that she was the bullseye on the court, and now she's one of our steady strong in that particular facet of the game. So she's done a nice job, and she's picked up her blocking as well, too. Ari Crittleton is a freshman, and she's an up-and-coming player. She's going to be someone that people need to keep their eyes on, and she'll definitely be on the scouting report for other teams against us. She's stepped up, and like I said, she was a middle-only player when she played in high school and in club, and we've expanded her role, and she's taking to it nicely. She's working very hard, and she's been excited about the new opportunity to play some different positions. But she's done a really nice job. Puts up a very strong block as well. Ashley Bell is a senior. She got some limited playing time last year, and she's really stepped up. And again, multi-position player. She's taken to it well, and she knows how to score. We just have to keep her consistent. Those are probably have been our big 3-point scorers as far as the offensive side. Haley Gregory has done a really nice job on the block. She's been a solid, consistent blocking player for us the entire time that she's been at Pitt State, so it's exciting for her to continue in that particular facet of her game. Defensively, we've had some freshmen that have stepped up and done a really nice job. Shantanae Addison is from Texas, and Chandler Templin is also from Texas. They've stepped up, played some great defense, and picked up some of the pressure there in serve-receive and on the serving side of the game, so they've done a nice job as well. I don't know that I have anybody that, even if I were to be able to say it out loud, who hasn't played well. I don't have anybody that's not played well, so we've been blessed in that arena. But like I said, we just have to get a little bit more consistent across the board.
What kind of competition do you have at Pitt? Do you have?
The first 2 weekends, we went to Rockhurst University that first opening weekend, and Rockhurst is a team they've gotten votes to be in the top 25, and I'd say by the end of the season, they'll probably be up there. They're pretty strong. We played well against them at points, and like I said, made a few more mistakes than what we were able to come back from when we played them. The other 3 teams that were there put up some decent competition, so it was a good prep for the following weekend where we went out to Colorado Springs. UCCS, Colorado Springs, the head coach that's there is a former Gorilla and also a former Jenny. She was an assistant at Central for several years, and then, like I said, played her senior year here at Pitt State. So I knew her really well, and her team has done a nice job over this past season. We played them last year, and they kind of had struggled, and this year they're much improved. So that was exciting to see for her. A little frustrating on our end. We've played several 5-set matches this year. More than that's, I'd say, is characteristic. We're 3-3 in 5-set matches. So we know we've got the longevity to do it, but gosh, I'd sure like to see us, let's close out in 3, let's close out in 4. But yeah, that second weekend where we played out in Colorado, there was some good, tough competition out there as well. I wouldn't say any were quite as strong as our top teams here in the MIAA, but definitely some good preparation.
Also nice to finally come back home, and take on Missouri Southern on Tuesday night.
Yes. Last week Tuesday, we had our first home opener against SBU. Big crowd. Oh, it was wonderful to see, and a lot of support from the fans. So yes, we're looking for the same thing here this coming Tuesday. It's the Set the Record night, so we'd love to have people come out and help boost attendance. I think the high was somewhere in the 2,000s range. So it'll be nice to see a lot of fans there at home, and of course Missouri Southern, being that rival school right across the way, it'll be good competition.
How have they played this year?
They are much improved from last year. John has done a really nice job over there. He's brought in a couple pretty talented players and improved some of the players that he's had that were returning for him. To play for him. But yeah, they've done a much better job this past season. We played them a little bit scrimmage-wise preseason, and they've got some big point scorers. They've got some athletic players, but like anybody else, you take them out of system and make them work a little bit harder, and it makes the game pretty exciting.
In addition to the Southern, you're going to be home on Friday with Kearney coming in, and then Fort Hayes on Saturday, so folks can go to the football game in the afternoon and just come on over to the Weed and watch you guys on Saturday night as well.
Yes, this will be one of the first times, at least in the time that I've been here, where we do have football and volleyball on the same day. We've got 2 dates this year, so it's been pretty exciting. So yes, this weekend versus Fort Hays, it's a family weekend, and then upcoming, if you look, October 11th, we'll be home when football is home on homecoming. I don't know when the last time was volleyball's been home on homecoming. So yes, we've got some exciting play. Hopefully, yes, people will catch the football game and then head into the volleyball game.
That's Pitt State volleyball coach Jenny Mueller. And again, the Gorillas with 3 matches this week at home. Tuesday night at 7 with Missouri Southern. Then Friday, Nebraska Kearney, also 7 o'clock start. And then Saturday at 6 with Fort Hays State after Pitt State Fort Hays football in the afternoon at Kearney Smith Stadium. That's your Pitt State volleyball update for now. I'm Tom Van Hoy.